Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new week here at Eagle View Elementary, and I will be reading a new chapter book this week, and it is going to be Junie B. Jones is Graduation Girl by Barbara Park. But before I start the book, notice I am wearing another one of our t-shirts. So this one says, "Watch us grow at Eagle View," and then it says, "Respect yourself, respect others, respect our school." And this was designed by Leilani, and she happened to be in my class that year, and she just finished her second grade year at Parkview. So if you want to come up with a design that could possibly become next year's t-shirt, Mrs. Becker sent mom or dad a form that you just can print out, make your design inside this box, and the best way to do it is just with black magic marker. Draw first with pencil, and then like we do in class, you can go over it with marker. Keep it clear, keep it simple, and it has to include our theme for next year, which would be called Our Future is Bright. So think of things that are bright: light bulbs, flashlights, lanterns, lightning bugs, anything that you can think of, sunglasses, anything that you can think of that might make a great t-shirt design. So those are actually due on Thursday, May 28th. You can bring them next week when you come to get your supplies and return any Chromebooks or anything. That's Tuesday morning or Thursday evening, and I will be here in both days. Or you can mail them directly to school. So ready for chapters 1 and 2 in Junie B. Jones's Graduation Girl by Barbara Park. Chapter 1, The Month of Junie. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I like B, and that's all. I was named after the month of June, because Junie is the month I was born in, of course. And wait till you hear this. Finally, I had my birthday yesterday, and now I am 6 years old. The day was like magic, I tell you. 'Cause on Saturday night, when I went to bed, I was only 5 years old, and the next morning, boom, I was 6. My grandma, Helen Miller, had a happy birthday party for me. She invited my mommy and daddy and my grandpa, Frank Miller. Also, she invited my baby brother named Ollie. He is just 7 months old. He didn't add much to my party. I love my party a very lot. First, I love my chocolatey cake with the white icing. Next, I love my strawberry ice cream. Plus also, I love my balloons and my funny birthday hats and all my happy birthday cards. But mostly, I loved my presents. I got 5 entire boxes to open. And good news, none of them were clothes. Mostly I got toys and games. Also, I got a tool belt just my size. Plus, Grandpa Miller gave me my very own plumbing supplies so I could help him fix the toilet. But that is not even the end of all my excitement, because that night, when Mommy tucked me in bed, she reminded me that I was graduating from kindergarten this week, this Friday. My stomach got jumpy inside when she said that, so I counted on my fingers real quick. But Friday's only 5 more days, I said. Oh, I did a gulp. That event sneaked right up on us, didn't it? I said, kind of nervous. Mother hugged me. "You're not worried, are you, Junie B?" she asked. "Graduation will be fun, I promise, and you're going to love first grade." "But Polly Allen Puffer says that next year everything will be different," I said. "He says that first grade won't have the same kids as room 9 does, and all of our classmates will be total strangers again." Mother did a frown. No, that's not true," she said. "I'm sure you'll know a lot of children in your class next year, Junie B. But even if your best friends aren't in your room, you will still be able to play with them at recess, right?" I nodded my head kind of slow. "Yes, I guess so," I said. "Plus, Polly Allen Puffer says that we will be the boss of all the kindergarten kids." So that will be fun, probably. And also, he says our brains and our feet will double in size. Mother stared at me a real long time. That Polly Allen puffer sure is a fountain of information, she said kind of quiet. After that, we talked some more about graduation and next year. And guess what? The next day at school, my teacher even talked about it more. Her name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs. and that's all. Mrs. clapped her hands real happy. Well, this is it, boys and girls, she said. Graduation week is finally here. At 7 o'clock on Friday evening, Room 8 and Room 9 will have our graduation ceremony. And of course, the children in the morning kindergarten will be graduating too. So every single one of you will receive a diploma. I springed out of my chair very thrilled. A diploma, a diploma. I will love a diploma, I shouted. And then I did a teensy frown. A diploma's not clothes, correct? A mean boy named Jim laughed real hard at me. Ha! Junie B. Jones, you don't even know what a diploma is, he said. I stamped my foot at that boy. Oh, yes, I do too, Jim, I said. I know exactly what a diploma is, but I'm not even the teacher here, so I'm going to let her explain it to the class. I sat down and smoothed my skirt, and then I pointed to Mrs. and I said, "Okay, take it from here," I said. Mrs. wrinkled her eyebrows at me. As I was about to say, a diploma is a very special piece of paper. A diploma is a certificate that says you've completed part of your education. And as you go through school, you'll get several diplomas, she said. But this one will be your first. I springed up again. And guess what else, Mrs.? I'm not even afraid of first grade anymore, 'cause I'm going to get big feet and big brains. Mrs. said, "Sit down," to me, and she told us more about graduation. She said that as a treat for our families, we will be making them special graduation invitations. And so we will do our activity. That will be our activity for the day. Yippee, I said. I love making invitations, Mrs., on account that does not even sound like a little bit of learning. After that, I clapped and I clapped and I clapped. And all of Room 9 clapped with me, because graduation week was starting off like a charm. Chapter 2 is called Rhymes. I sat at my table very nice. Mrs. passed out colored paper for our invitations. Also, she passed out curly ribbon and lace and paste and bottles of sparkly glitter. Just as a reminder, she said, we do not paste glitter on our eyebrows. We do not put lace up our noses. We do not, above all, glue curly ribbon to our heads and pretend that we have long hair. And Mrs. just looked and looked and looked at me while she was saying those things. I kind of squirmed a little bit in my seat, 'cause that woman has a memory like a hawk, I tell you. Finally, Mrs. went to the board and she picked up her chalk. On the inside of our cards, we're going to write a poem about graduation. Does anyone have any ideas for the first line? My friend named Grace waved her hand in the air. Roses are red, roses are red, roses are red, she called out. Yes, hollered Room 9, roses are red. Mrs. smiled. She wrote it on the board for us. Okay, now, what about a second line? She asked. Room 9 hollered again. Violets are blue, violets are blue, violets are blue. So Mrs. wrote that on the line too. Very good, class, she said. Now, who can think of a third line? Maybe we should try to mention something about graduation in this one. Does anyone have any ideas? A shy boy named William stood up next to the table. Graduation is here, he said, kind of nervous. Mrs. grinned real big. Excellent job, William, excellent, she said. She printed it on the board. All right, There's just one more line to go, she said. Let's try to make the last word rhyme with the word blue, okay? She read the 3 lines out loud that we had so far. Roses are red, violets are blue. Graduation is here. Room 9 thought and thought and thought. Then all of a sudden, rhymes started coming from all over the place. My dress is new, called Lucille. My dad's name is Lou, called Jamal Hall. We made it woo-hoo, called Lenny. I like that one. Just then, Polly Allen Puffer springed right out of his chair and he started laughing his whole head off and he said, "The zoo is P.U." He shouted the loudest, and then all of room 9 laughed our heads off too, because P.U. is the silliest rhyme we've ever heard of to rhyme with blue. Mrs. clapped her hands together again. "Boys and girls, that's enough," she said, kind of grouchy. She hurried to Polly Allen Puffer's table, and she put him back in his seat. "I do not appreciate that kind of behavior, young man," she said. "We're trying to write a nice poem here, Polly Allen, and your rhyme is entirely inappropriate." After that, I tried to stop giggling, but that silly poem just kept staying inside my head. And then, out of nowhere, another poem popped right into my brain, and I couldn't even hold it inside me, and I quick jumped up out of my chair. Roses are red, violets are blue, graduations is here, and my feet smell like P.U., I shouted. After that, room 9 could not even control themselves again, 'cause that poem was the funniest thing they'd ever heard of. My teacher's eyes got real big and wide at me. "Junie B. Jones, didn't you hear a word I said?" She sounded very annoyed. Then Mrs. hurried to my table, and she took me into the hall, and she pointed straight to the office. Uh-oh. That ends Chapter 2. Chapter 3 will be called A Good Chuckle. So, come back tomorrow, please, for Chapters 3 and Chapters 4. Thanks so much for tuning in at Eagle View Elementary School. See you soon. Bye-bye.